notes and reminders before we begin. First off, please take out your cell phone, smartphone, smart watch, dumb watch, anything else that might go boop or beep, and put it in the not making boop or beeps setting. In the event of an emergency, please make your way to one of the 4 brightly lit exit signs through which you went through one of the exits on your way in. There's another one directly backstage and 2 more along this wall. The exit signs are bright and friendly, and you'll be least hurt by going under one of them. There will be one 10-minute intermission about halfway through our show, during which please feel free to use the facilities, men's on that end, women's on this end, to check out our concession stand or to make a donation to Sodal in the bucket that you see placed on the end of the stage. Shakespeare on the Lawn is a non-profit organization, and we do rely on contributions from supporters like you to ensure that we can continue producing these main stages every semester, as we have for 18 years, if I'm counting correctly. So, with all of that said, please enjoy tonight's production of William Shakespeare's Titus Andronicus.
Noble patricians, patrons of my right, defend the justice of my cause with arms, and countrymen, my loving followers, plead my successive title with your swords. I am his firstborn son that was the last that wore the imperial diadem of Rome. Then let my father's honors live in me, nor wrong mine age with this indignity.
Romans, friends, followers, favors of my right, wherever Bassianus, Caesar's son, were gracious in the eyes of royal Rome, keep then this passage to the capital, and suffer not dishonor or approach the imperial seat to virtue, consecrate to justice, continence, and nobility. But let desert and pure election shine, and Romans fight for freedom in your choice.
Princes that strive by factions and by friends ambitiously for rule and empery know that the people of Rome, for whom we stand a special party, have by common voice in election for the Roman emperor chosen Andronicus, surnamed Pius, for many good and great deserts to Rome. A nobler man, a braver warrior, lives not this day within the city walls. He by the Senate is exited home from weary wars against the barbarous Goths, that with his sons a terror to our foes hath yoked a nation strong, trained up in arms. 10 years are spent since first he undertook this cause of Rome, and chastised it with arms I earned his pride. 5 times he hath returned bleeding to Rome, bearing his valiant sons in coffins from the field, and at this day returns the good Andronicus to Rome. Renowned Titus, flourishing in arms, let us entreat by honor of his name, and in the capital and senate's right, whom you pretend to honor and adore, that you withdraw you and abate your strength. Dismiss your followers, and as suitors should please your deserts in peace and humbleness.
How fair the tribune speaks to calm my thoughts.
Marcus Andronicus, so I do a fee in thy uprightness and integrity. So I love and honor thee and thine, my noble brother Titus and his sons, and her to whom my thoughts are humbled all. Gracious Lavinia, Rome's rich ornament. And I here dismiss my loving friends, and to my fortunes and the people's favor, commit my cause and balance to be weighed.
Friends that have been thus forward in my right, I thank you all, and here dismiss you all. And to the love and favor of my country, commit myself, my person, and the cause. Rome, be as just and gracious unto me as I am confident and kind to thee. Open the gates and let me in.
Tribute to me, a poor competitor.
Romans, make way. The good Andronicus, patron of virtue, Rome's best champion, successful in the battles that he fights, with honor and with fortune, is returned from where he circumscribed with his sword and brought to yoke the enemies of Rome.
Hail Rome, victorious in thy morning weeds. Lo, as the bark that hath discharged his freight returns with precious lading to the bay, from whence at first she weighed her anchorage, cometh Andronicus, bound with laurel boughs to resalute his country with his tears. Tears of true joy for his return to Rome. Romans, of 25 valiant sons, half of the number King Priam had, behold the poor remains now, alive and dead. These that survive let Rome reward with love. These that I bring unto their latest homes, with burial amongst their ancestors. That is unkind and careless of thine own. Why sufferest thou thy sons unburied yet to hover on the dreadful shores of Styx? Make way to lay them by their brethren. There greet in silence and sleep in peace, slating a country's wars. O sacred receptacle of my joys, Sweet cell of virtue and nobility, how many sons hast thou of mine in store that thou wilt never render to me more?
Give us the proudest prisoner of the gods, that we may hew his limbs and on a pile, ad minors fratrum, sacrifice his flesh, before this earthly prison of their bones, that so the shadows be not unappeased, nor we disturbed with prodigies on earth.
I give him you the noblest that survives, the eldest son of this distressed queen.
Stay, Roman brethren, gracious conqueror, victorious Titus, prove the tears I shed, a mother's tears in passion for her son, and if thy sons were ever dear to thee, think my sons as dear to me. Suffice it not that we are brought to Rome to beautify thy triumph and return captive to thee into thy Roman yoke. But must my sons be slaughtered in the streets for valiant doings in their country's cause? Oh, if to fight for king and commonwealth were piety and thine, it is in these. Andronicus, stain not thy tomb with blood. Wilt thou draw near the nature of the gods? Draw near them then in being merciful. No, sweet mercy is nobility's true badge. Thrice noble Titus, spare my firstborn son.
Patient yourself, madame, and pardon me. These are their brethren whom your Goths beheld alive and dead, and for their brethren slain. Religiously they ask a sacrifice, and to this your son is marked, and die he must, to please their groaning shadows that are gone.
Away with him, and make a fire straight, and with our swords upon a pile of wood, let's hew his limbs till they be clean consumed.
Oh, cruel, irreligious piety!
Was ever Scythia half so barbarous? Oppose not Scythia to ambitious Rome. Alarbus goes to rest, and we survive to tremble under Titus' threatening look. Then, madam, stand resolved, but hope withal those self-same gods that armed the queen of Troy with opportunity of sharp revenge upon the Thracian tyrant in his tent may favor Tamara, the queen of gods. When Goths were Goths and Tamara was queen, to quit the bloody wrongs upon her foes.
See, Lord and Father, how we have performed our Roman rites. Alarbus' limbs are lopped, and entrails feed the sacrificing fire, smoke like incense doth perfume the sky. Remaineth not, but to inter our brethren, and with loud larums welcome them to Rome.
Let it be so. And let Andronicus make this his latest farewell to their souls. In peace and honor rest ye here, my sons. Rome's readiest champions, repose ye here in rest, secure from worldly chances and mishaps. Here lurks no treason. Here no envy swells. Here grow no damned drugs. Here are no storms, no noise, but silence and eternal sleep. In peace and honor rest ye here, my sons.
In peace and honor live Lord Titus long, my noble lord and father live in fame. Now at this tomb my tributary tears I render to my brethren's obsequies, and at thy feet I kneel with tears of joy shed on this earth for thy return to Rome. Oh, bless me here with thy victorious hand, whose fortunes Rome's best citizens applaud.
Kind Rome, that hast thus lovingly reserved the cordial of mine age to glad my heart. Lavinia lived, outlived thy father's days, and fame's eternal date, for virtue's praise.
Long live Lord Titus, my beloved brother, gracious triumpher in the eyes of Rome.
Thanks, noble brother, gentle tribune Marcus.
And welcome nephews from successful wars, you that survive, and you that sleep in fame. Fair lords, your fortunes are alike in all that in your country's service drew your swords, but safer triumph is his funeral pomp than that aspired to Solon's happiness, and triumphs over chance in honor's bed. Titus Andronicus, the people of Rome, whose friend in justice thou hast ever been, send thee by me their tribune and their trust, this palliament of white and spotless hue, and name thee in election for the empire. With these our late deceased emperor's sons, be candidatus then, and put it on, and help to set a head on headless Rome.
Better head her glorious body fits than his that shakes for age and feebleness. What should I don this robe and trouble you? Be chosen with proclamations today, tomorrow yield up rule, resign my life, and set abroad new business for you all. Rome, I have been thy soldier 40 years, and have led my country's strength successfully, and have buried 21 valiant sons in right and service of their noble country. Give me a staff of honor for mine age, but not a scepter to control the world. Upright, He held it lords that held it last.
Titus, thou shalt obtain and ask the emperor.
Proud and ambitious tribune, canst thou tell?
Patience, Prince Saturninus.
Romans, do me right! Patricians, draw your swords and sheathe them, not till Saturninus be Rome's emperor! Andronicus, would thou wert shipped to hell, rather than rob me of the people's hearts!
Proud Saturnine, interrupter of the good that noble-minded Titus means to thee.
Content thee, Prince. I will restore to thee the people's hearts and wean them from themselves.
Titus Andronicus, I do not flatter thee, but honor thee and will do till I die. My faction, if thou strengthen with thy friends, I will most thankful be. Thanks to men of noble minds, honorable meed.
The people of Rome and people's tribunes here, I ask your voices and your suffrages. Will ye bestow them friendly on Andronicus?
To gratify the good Andronicus and gratulate his safe return to Rome, the people will accept whom he admits.
Tribunes, I thank you, and this suit I make. That you create our emperor's eldest son, Lord Saturnine, whose virtues will, I hope, reflect on Rome as Titans raise on earth and ripen justice in our commonweal. And if you elect by my advice, crown him and say, long live our emperor.
The voices and applause of every sort, patricians and plebeians, we create Lord Saturninus, Rome's great emperor, and say, long live our emperor Saturnine.
Titus Andronicus, for thy favors done to us in our election this day, I give thee thanks in part of thy efforts, and will with deeds requite thy gentleness. And for an onset, Titus, to advance thy name and honorable family. Lavinia, will I make my empress? Rome's royal mistress, mistress of my heart, and in the sacred pantheon her spouse. Tell me, Andronicus, doth this motion please thee?
It doth, my worthy lord, and in this match I will be highly honored of your grace. And here, in sight of Rome, to Saturnine, the wide world's emperor, commander of our commonweal, do I consecrate my sword, my chariot, and my prisoners. Presents well worthy Rome's imperious lord. Receive them then in this tribute that I owe. Mine honor's ensigns humbled at thy feet.
Thanks, noble Titus, father of my life. How proud I am of thee and of thy gifts, Rome shall report. And when I do forget the least of these unspeakable deserts, Romans, forget your fealty to me.
Now, madam, are you prisoner to an emperor, to him that for your honor and your state will use you nobly and your followers?
A goodly lady, trust me of the hue that I would choose were I to choose anew. Clear up, fair queen, that cloudy countenance. Though change of war hath wrought this change of cheer, thou comest not to be made a scorn in Rome. Princely shall be thy usage every way. Rest on my word. And let not discontent daunt all your hopes. Madam, he comforts you could make you greater than the Queen of Goths. Lavinia, you are not displeased with this?
Not I, my lord, sith true nobility warrants these words and princely courtesy.
Thanks, sweet Lavinia. Romans, let us go. Ransomless here we set our prisoners free. Proclaim our honors, lords, with trump and drum.
Lord Titus, by your leave, this maid is mine.
Oh, sir, are you in earnest then, my lord?
I, my lord, resolved with all to do myself this reason and this right.
Suum cuique is our Roman justice. This prince in justice seizeth but his own.
And that he will and shall, if Lucius live.
Traitors avaunt! Where's the emperor's guard? Treason, my lord! Lavinia is surprised!
Surprised by whom?
By him that may bear his betrothed from all the world away.
Brothers, help to convey our hints away, and with my sword I'll keep this door safe.
My lord, follow, and I'll soon bring her back.
My lord, you pass not here.
What villain boy bars me my way in Rome?
Help, Lucius, help! My lord, you are unjust, and more than so. In wrongful quarrel you have slain your son.
Nor thou, nor he are any sons of mine. My sons would never so dishonor me. Traitor, restore Lavinia to the emperor.
No, Titus. No. The emperor needs her not. Nor her, nor thee, nor any of thy stock. I'll trust by leisure him that mocks me once, thee never, nor thy traitorous haughty sons. Confederates all thus to dishonor me. Was none in Rome to make a stale but Saturnine? Full well, Andronicus, agree these deeds with that proud brag of thine, that sets, I think, the empire at thy hands.
Oh, monstrous, what reproachful words are these?
But go thy ways. Go. Give that changing piece to him that flourished for her with his sword. A valiant son-in-law thou shalt enjoy, one fit to bandy with thy lawless sons, to ruffle in the commonwealth of Rome.
These words are razors to my wounded heart.
And therefore, lovely Tamra, queen of Goths, that like the stately Phoebe amongst her nymphs dost overshine the gallantest dames of Rome. If thou be pleased with this by sudden choice, behold, I choose thee Tamra for my bride, and will create thee empress of Rome. Speak, queen of Goths, dost thou applaud my choice? For here I swear by all the Roman gods, sith priest and holy water are so near, and tapers burn so bright, and everything in readiness for Hymenaeus stand, I will not resalute the streets of Rome, or climb my palace, till from forth this place I lead espoused my bride along with me.
And here in sight of heaven to Rome, I swear, if Saturnine advance the queen of Goths, she will a handmaid be to his desires, a loving nurse, a mother to his youth.
Ascend, fair Queen Pantheon. Lords, accompany your noble emperor and his lovely bride, sent by the heavens for Prince Saturnine, whose wisdom hath their fortune conquered. There we shall consummate our spousal rites.
I am not bid to wait upon this bride. Titus, when wert thou wont to walk alone, dishonored thus, and challenge it of wrongs?
Oh, Titus, see. Oh, see what thou hast done, in a bad quarrel slain a virtuous son.
No, foolish tribune, no, no son of mine, nor thou, nor these confederates, in the deed that hath dishonored all our family. Unworthy brother, and unworthy sons.
But let us give him burial as becomes. Give Mucius burial with our brethren.
Traitors away, he rests not in this tomb. This monument, 500 years hath stood. Here none but soldiers and Rome's servitors repose in fame, none basely slain in brawls. Bury him where you can, he comes not in here.
My lord, this is impiety in you. My nephew Mucius' deeds do plead for him. He must be buried with his brethren.
And shall, for him we will accompany.
And shall? What villain was to speak that word?
He that would vouch it any place but here.
What, would you bury him in my despite?
No, noble Titus, but entreat of thee to pardon Mucius and to bury him.
Marcus, even thou hast struck upon my crest, and with these boars, mine honor thou hast wounded. My foes, do I repute you, every one, so trouble me no more, but get you gone.
He is not with himself. Let us withdraw.
Not I, till Mucius' bones be buried.
Brother, for in that name doth nature plead.
Father, and in that name doth nature speak.
Speak thou no more, if all the rest will speak.
Renowned Titus, more than half my soul.
Dear father, soul and substance of us all.
Suffer thy brother Marcus to adore his noble nephew here in virtue's nest that died in honor and Lavinia's cause. Thou art a Roman, be not barbarous. The Greeks upon advice did bury Ajax that slew himself, and wise Laertes' son did graciously plead for his funerals. Let not young Mucius, then, that was thy joy, be barred his entrance here.
Rise. Marcus, rise. The dismalest day is this that e'er I saw, to be dishonored thus by my sons in Rome. We'll bury him, and bury me the next.
There lie thy bones, sweet Mucius, with thy friends, till we with trophies do adorn thy tomb.
No man shed tears for noble Mucius. He lives in fame that died in virtue's cause. My lord, to step out of these dreary dumps, how comes it that the subtle queen of Goths is of a sudden thus advanced in Rome?
Marcus, I know not, but I know it is. Whether by device or no, the heavens can tell. Tell me, is she not then beholding to the man that brought her to this high good turn so far?
Sebastianus, you have played your prize. God give you joy, sir, of your gallant bride.
And you of yours, my lord, I say no more, nor wish no less, and so I take my leave.
Traitor. If Rome have law or we have power, thou and thy faction shall repent this rape.
Rape, call you it, my lord, to seize my own, my true betrothed love, now my wife. But let the laws of Rome determine all. Meanwhile, I'm possessed of that is mine.
'Tis good, sir, you are very short with us. But if we live, we'll be as sharp with you.
My lord, what I have done as best I may. Answer I must and shall do with my life. Only thus much I give your grace to know. This noble gentleman, Lord Titus here, is an opinion and an honor wrong, that in the rescue of Lavinia, with his own hand did slay his youngest son in zeal for you, and highly moved to wrath to be controlled in that which he frankly gave. Receive him then to favor Saturnine, that hath expressed himself as all his deeds, a father and friend to thee in Rome.
Prince Bassianus, leave to plead my deeds. 'Tis thou and those that have dishonored me. Rome and the righteous heavens be my judge, how I have loved and honored Saturnine.
My gracious lord, if ever Tamara were gracious in those princely eyes of thine, then hear me speak indifferently for all, and at my suit sweet pardon what is past.
What matter be dishonored openly and basely put it up without revenge?
Not so, my lord, the gods of Rome forfend I should be author to dishonor you. But on mine honor dare I undertake for good Lord Titus innocence in all, whose fury not dissembled speaks his griefs. Then at my suit look graciously on him. Lose not so noble friend on vain suppose, or with sour looks afflict his gentle heart. My lord, be ruled by me, be one at last. Dissemble all your griefs and discontents. You are but newly planted in your throne, less than the people and patricians too, upon a just survey, should take Titus' part, and so supplant you for ingratitude, which Rome reputes to be a heinous sin. Yield at entreats, and then let me alone. I'll find a day to massacre them all, and raise their faction and their family, the cruel father and his traitorous sons, to whom I sued for my dear son's life, and make them know what 'tis to let a queen kneel in the streets and beg for grace in vain. Come, come, sweet emperor. Come, Andronicus. Take up this good old man and cheer the heart that dies in tempest of thy angry frown.
Rise, Titus, rise. Thine embers have prevailed.
I thank your majesty and her, my lord. These words, these looks infuse new life in me.
Titus, I am incorporate in Rome, a Roman now adopted happily, and must advise the emperor for his good. This day all quarrels die, Andronicus. And let it be mine honor good, my lord, that I have reconciled your friends and you. For you, Prince Bassianus, I have passed my word and promise to the emperor that you will be more mild and tractable. Fear you not, lords, and you, Lavinia, by my advice, all humbled on your knees, you shall ask pardon of his majesty.
We do, and vow to heaven and to his highness that what we did was mildly as we might, tendering our sister's honor and our own.
That an honor here do I protest.
Away, and talk not, trouble us no more.
Nay, nay, sweet emperor, we must all be friends. The tribune and his nephews kneel for grace. I will not be denied. Sweetheart, look back.
Marcus, for thy sake and thy brothers here, and at my lovely Tamara's entreats, I do remit these young men's heinous faults. Stand up. Lavinia, though you left me like a churl, I found a friend, and sure as death I swore, I would not part a bachelor from the priest. Go on then. If the emperor's court can feast 2 brides, you are our guest, Lavinia, and your friends. Today shall be a love day, Tamara.
Tomorrow, and it please your grace, to hunt the panther and the hart with me. With horn and hound, we'll give your grace bonjour.
Be it so, Titus, and gramercy too.
Now Tamara climbs the Olympus top, safe out of fortune's shot, and sits aloft, secure of thunder's crack and lightning's flash, advanced above pale envy's threatening reach. As when the golden sun salutes the morn, and having gilt the ocean with his beams, gallops the zodiac in his glistening coach and overlooks the highest peering hills. So Tamara, upon her wits doth earthly honor wait, and virtue stoops and trembles at her frown. Then Aaron, arm thy heart, and fit thy thoughts to mount thy imperial mistress, and mount her pitch, whom down triumph long as prisoner held, fettered in amorous chains, and faster tied to Aaron's charming eyes than is Prometheus tied to Caucasus. Away with slavish weed and servile thoughts, I will be bright and shine in pearl and gold to wait upon this new-made empress. To wait, said I, to wanton with this queen, this goddess, this nymph, this Semiramis, that charms Rome's Saturnine, and sees his shipwreck and his commonweal. Hello, what storm is this?
Chiron, thy gears once wicked, thy wits once edge, and manners to intrude where I am graced, and made for what thou knowest affected be.
Demetrius, thou's o'erween in all, and so in this. To bear me down with braves, 'tis not the difference of a year or two makes me less gracious or thee more fortunate. Ha! I am as fit to serve and to deserve my mistress' grace as thou, and that my sword upon thee shall approve. And plead my passions for Lavinia's love.
Clubs, these lovers will not keep the peace.
Why, boy, although our mother unadvised gave you a dancing rapier by your side, are you so desperate grown to threat your friends? Go to! And have your blade glued within your sheath till you know better how to handle it.
Meanwhile, good sir, with the little skill I have, full well shalt thou perceive how much I dare.
Hi, boy. Grow ye so brave?
Why, how now, lords? So near the emperor's palace dare ye draw, and maintain such a quarrel openly? Full well I would to the ground of all this grudge. I would not for 1,000,000 of gold the cause worst known to them as most concerned. Nor would thy noble mother, for much more be so dishonored in the court of Rome. For shame, put up!
Not till I have sheathed my rapier in his bosom, and withal thrust those reproachful speeches down his throat that he hath breathed in my dishonor here.
For that I am well prepared and full resolved. Foul-spoken coward, that thunders with thy tongue, and with thy weapon nothing dares perform.
Away, I say! Now by the gods that warlike gods adore, this petty brabble will undo us all. Why, lords, and think you not how dangerous it is to jet upon a prince's right? What is Lavinia that has become so loose, or Bassianus so degenerate, that for her love such quarrels may be broached without controlment, justice, or revenge? Young lords, beware, and should thy mother know that this discord's ground, the music would not please.
I care not I, knew she in all the world. I love Lavinia more than all the world.
Youngling, learn thou to make some meaner choice. Lavinia is thine elder brother's hope.
Why? Are ye mad? Or know ye not in Rome how furious and impatient they be, and cannot brook competitors in love? Young lords, ye do but plot your deaths by this device.
Aaron, 1,000 deaths would I propose to achieve her whom I love.
To achieve her how?
Why makest thou it so strange? She is a woman, therefore may be wooed. She is a woman, therefore may be won. She is Lavinia, therefore must be loved. What, man, more water glideth by the mill than wants the miller of, and easy it is of a cut loaf to steal a shive we know. Though Bassianus be the emperor's brother, better than he have worn Vulcan's badge.
Aye, and as good as Saturninus may.
So why should he despair that knows to court it with words, fair looks, and liberality? What, hast not thou full often struck a doe and borne her cleanly by the keeper's nose?
Why? Then it seems some certain snatch or so would serve your turns.
Aye, so the turn were served.
Aaron, thou hast hit it.
Would you have hit it too? Should not we be tired of this ado? Why, hark ye, and are you such fools to square for this? Would it offend you then that both should speed?
Faith, not me.
Nor me, so I were one.
For shame, be friends and join for that you tar. 'Tis policy and stratagem must do that you effect, and so must you resolve. That which you cannot as you would accomplish, you must perforce achieve as you may. Take this of me. Lucrece was not more chaste than this Lavinia. Bassianus' love. A speedier course this lingering languishment must we pursue. And I have found the path. My lords, a solemn hunting is at hand. There will the lovely Roman ladies troop. The forest walks are wide and spacious, and many unfrequented plots there are, fitted by kind for rape and villainy. Single you thither then this dainty doe, and strike her home by force, if not by words. This way or not at all stands you in hope. Come. Come! Our empress with her sacred wit will be acquainted with all what we intend, and she shall fill our engines with advice that shall not suffer you to square yourselves, but to your wishes' height, advance you both. The emperor's court is like a house of fame, the palace full of tongues and eyes and ears. The woods are ruthless, dreadful, deaf and dumb. There speak, and strike, brave boys, and take your turns. There serve your lust, shadowed from heaven's eye, and revel in Lavinia's treasure.
Thy counsel, lad, smells of no cowardice. Demetrius, sit fos out ne fos. Till I find a stream to cool this heat, a charm to calm these fits, peristigia permanes verhor.
The hunt is up. The moon is bright and gray. The fields are fragrant and the woods are green. Uncouple here and let us make a bay and wake the emperor and his lovely bride and rouse the prince and ring a hunter's peal that all the court may echo with the noise. Sons, let it be your charge, as it is ours to tend the emperor's person carefully. I have been troubled in my sleep this night, but dawning day do comfort heaven's fire. Many good morrows to your majesty, madam, to you as many and as good. We promise it your grace a hunter's peal.
And you bring it lustily, my lords. Somewhat too early for new married ladies.
Lavinia, how say you?
I say no. I have been broad awake these 2 hours and more.
Come on, then. Horse and chariots let us have, and to our sport. Madam, you shall see our Roman hunted.
I have dogs, my lord, will rouse the proudest panther in the chase and climb the highest promontory top.
And I have horse will follow where the game makes way and runs as fast as swallows o'er the plain.
Chiron, we hunt not we with horse nor hound, but hope to pluck a dainty doe to ground. He that had wit would think that I had none, to bury so much gold and never after to inherit it. Let him that thinks of me so abjectly know that this gold must coin a stratagem, which cunningly effected will beget a very excellent piece of villainy. And so, repose sweet gold for their unrest, which have their wronged out the emperor's chest.
My lovely Aaron, wherefore lookest thou sad, when everything doth make a gleeful boast? The birds chant melody on every bush, the snake lies rolled in the cheerful sun, the green leaves quiver in the cooling wind and make a checkered shadow on the ground. In their sweet shade, Aaron, let us sit, whilst the babbling echo mocks the hounds, replying shrilly to the well-tuned horns, as if a double hunt were heard at once. Let us sit down and mark their yellowing noise. And after conflict, as was supposed, the wandering prince and Dido once enjoyed, when with a happy storm they were surprised, and curtained with the council-keeping cave, we may each wreathed in the other's arms, our pastimes done, possess a golden slumber, whilst hound and horn and sweet melodious bird be unto us as is a nurse's song of lullaby to bring her babe asleep.
Madam, though Venus govern your desires, Saturn is dominator over mine. What signifies my silence, my cloudy eye, and my deadly standing melancholy? No, madam, these are no venereal signs. Vengeance is in my heart, death in my hand, blood and revenge are hammering in my head. Hark, Tamara, the empress of my soul, which never hopes more heaven than rests in thee. This is the day of doom for Bassianus. His Philomel must lose her tongue today. Thy sons may pillage of her chastity and wash their hands in Bassianus' blood. Seest thou this letter? Take it up, I pray thee, and give the king this fatal plotted scroll. Now question me no more, we are espied. Here comes a parcel of our hopeful booty, which dreads not yet their lives' destruction.
Ah, my sweet Moor, sweeter to me than life.
No more, great Empress Bassianus comes. Be cross with him, and I'll go fetch thy sons to back thy quarrels, whatsoever they be.
Who have we here? Rome's royal empress unfurnished of her well-beseeming troop? Or is it dying, happy like who hath left her holy groves to see the general hunting in this forest?
Saucy controller of my private steps, had I the power, some say Diane, had thy temples should be planted presently with horns as was Actaeon, and the hounds should drive upon thy new transformed limbs, unmannerly intruder as thou art.
Under your patience, gentle Empress, 'tis thought you have a goodly gift in horning. And to be doubted that your Moor and you are singled forth to try thy experiments. Jove shield your husband from his hounds today. 'Tis pity they should take him for a stag.
Believe me, queen, your swarthy Sumerian doth make your honor of his body stew. Why are you sequestered from all your train and wandered hither to an obscure plot? Accompanied but with a barbarous Moor, had not foul desire conducted you.
And being intercepted in your sport, great reason that my noble lord be rated for sauciness. I pray you let us hence, and let her joy her raven-colored love. This valley fits the purpose passing well.
The king my brother shall have notice of this.
Good king to be so mightily abused.
Why, I have patience to endure all this.
Why, how now, dear sovereign, and our gracious mother? Why doth your highness look so pale and wan?
Have I not reason, think you, to look pale? These two have enticed me hither to this place. A barren, detested vale, you see it is. And when they showed me this abhorred pit, they told me here at dead time of night, 1,000 fiends, 1,000 hissing snakes, 10,000 swelling toads, as many urchins make such fearful and confused cries, as any mortal body hearing it should straight fall mad, or else die suddenly. And no sooner had they told me this hellish tale, but straight they told me they would bind me here unto the body of a dismal ewe and lead me to this most miserable death. And then they called me foul adulteress, lascivious Goth, and all the bitterest terms that e'er here did hear to such effect. And had you, not by wondrous fortune, come, this vengeance on me had they executed. Revenge it as you love your mother's life, or be ye not henceforth called my children.
This is a witness that I am thy son!
This struck home for me to show my strength.
Semiramis, name barbarous Tamara, for no name fits thy nature but thy own.
Give me the coin, and you shall know, my boys, your mother's hand shall right your mother's wrong.
Stay, madam. Here is more belongs to her. First thrash the corn, then after burn the straw. This minion stood upon her chastity, upon her nuptial vow, her loyalty, and with that painted hope braves your mightiness. And shall she carry this unto her grave?
And if she did, would I were an eunuch, drag hence her husband to some secret hole, and make his dead trunk pillow to our lust.
And when ye have the honey we desire, let not this wasp outlive us both to stay.
I warrant you, madam, I'll make that sure. Now come, mistress. Perforce we will enjoy that nice preserved honesty of yours.
Oh, Tamara, thou bearest a woman's face.
I will not hear her speak. Away with her.
Listen, fair madam. Let it be your glory to see her tears. But be your heart to them as unrelenting flint to drops of rain.
When did the tiger's young ones teach the dam? Oh, do not learn her wrath, she taught it thee. The milk thou suckst from her did turn to marble. Even at thy teeth thou hadst thy tyranny. Yet every mother breeds not sons alike. Do thou entreat her show a woman's pity.
What? Would thou have me prove myself a bastard?
True, the raven doth not catch a lark. Yet have I heard, oh, could I find it now? The lion, moved with pity, did endure to have his princely paws pared all away. Some say that ravens foster forlorn children, the whilst their own birds famish in their nests. Oh, be to me, though thy hard heart say no, nothing so kind, but something pitiful.
I know not what it means. Away with her.
Oh, let me teach thee for my father's sake, who gave thee life when well he might have slain thee. Be not obdurate, open thy deaf ears.
Hast thou in person ne'er offended me, even for his sake am I pitiless. Remember, boys, I poured forth tears in vain to save your brother from the sacrifice, but fierce Andronicus would not relent. Therefore, away with her, and use her as you will. The worse to her, the better loved of me.
Oh, Tamara, be called a gentle queen, and with thine own hands kill me in this place. For 'tis not life that I have begged so long. For I was slain when Bassianus died.
What, beggest thou then? Fond woman, let me go.
'Tis present death I beg, and one thing more, that womanhood denies my tongue to tell. Oh, keep me from their worse than killing lust, and tumble me into some loathsome pit where never man's eye may behold my body. Do this, and be a charitable murderer.
So, should I rob my sweet sons of their fee? No, let them satisfy their lust on thee.
Away, for thou hast stayed us here too long.
No grace, no womanhood, beastly creature that brought an enemy to our general name. Confusion.
Hey, man, I'll stop your mouth.
Farewell, my boys, so that you may for sure. Ne'er know my heart merry cheer indeed, till all the Andronici be made away. Now will I hence to seek my lovely more, and let my spleenful sons this troll the flower.
Come on, my lords, the better foot before. Straight will I bring you to the loathsome pit, where I spied the panther, fast asleep.
My sight is very dull, whate'er it bodes.
And mine, I promise you. We're not for shade. I like to leave our sport to sleep a while.
What art thou calling? What subtle hole is this whose mouth is covered with root-growing briars, on whose leaves are drops of new shed blood? Speak, brother! Hast thou hurt thee with the fall?
Oh, brother, with the dismalst object hurt that ever eye would sight made heart lament.
Now will I fetch the king to find them here, that he may have a likely guess that these were they that made away his brother.
Why dost not comfort me and help me out from this unhallowed and blood-stained hole?
I am surprised with an uncouth fear. Chilling sweat runs my trembling joints. My heart suspects more than mine eye can see.
To prove thou hast a true divining heart, Aaron and thou look down into this den, and see a fearful sight of blood and death.
Aaron is gone. My compassionate heart will not permit mine eyes at once to behold the thing whereat it trembles by surmise. Oh, tell me who it is, for ne'er till now was I a child to fear I know not what.
Lord Bassianus lies, bereaved in blood, all on a heap like the slaughtered land of this detested, dark, blood-drinking pit. Oh, brother, help me with thy fainting hand. Fear hath made thee faint as me it hath, out of this fell-devouring receptacle, as hateful as Titus' misty mouth.
Reach me thy hand, that I may help thee out. Or wanting strength to do thee so much good, I may be plucked into the gaping womb of this deep pit. Poor Bassianus' grave. I have no strength to pluck thee to the brink.
Nor I no strength to climb without thy help.
Thy hand once more. I will not loose again till thou art here aloft, or I below. Thou canst not come to me. I come to thee.
Hold with me. I'll see what hole is here, and what he is that now is leapt into it. Say, who art thou that lately didst descend into this gaping hollow of the earth?
The unhappy sons of old Andronicus, brought hither in a most unlucky hour to find thy brother Bassianus dead.
My brother dead? I know thou dost but jest. He and his lady both are at the lodge, upon the north side of this pleasant chase. 'Tis not an hour since I left them there.
We know not where he left them all alive, but out alas, here have we found him dead.
Where is my lord the emperor?
Here, Tamara, though grief with killing grief.
Where is thy brother Bassianus?
Now to the bottom dost thou search my wound, for Bassianus here lies murdered.
Then all too late I bring this fatal writ, the complot of this timeless tragedy, and wonder greatly that man's face can fold in pleasing smiles such murderous tyranny.
And if we miss to meet him handsomely, sweet huntsman, Bassianus 'tis we mean.
Do thou so much as dig the grave for him. Thou knowst our meaning, look for thy reward. Among the nettles of the elder tree, which overshades the mouth of that same pit, where we decreed to bury Bassianus. Do this and purchase us thy lasting friends. O Tamara, was ever heard the like? This is the pit, and this the elder tree. Look, sir, so you can find the huntsman that should have murdered Bassianus here.
My gracious lord, here's the bag of gold.
Two of thy whelps, fell curs of bloody kind, have you bereft my brother of his life? Sirs, take them to the pit unto the prison. There let them bide until I have devised some never heard of torturing pain for them.
What, are they in this pit? Oh, wondrous thing how easy murder is discovered.
My emperor, upon my feeble knee I beg this boon with tears not lightly shed, that this fell fault of my accursed sons, accursed if the fault be proved.
If it be proved. See, it is apparent. Who found this letter, Tamara? Was it you?
Andronicus himself did take it up.
I did, my lord, yet let me be their bail, for by my father's reverend to my vow, they shall be ready at your highness' will to answer their suspicion with their lives.
Thou shalt not bail them. See thou follow me. Some take the murdered body, some the murderers. Let them not speak a word. Their guilt is plain. For by my soul, were there worse end than death, that end upon them should be executed.
Andronicus, I will entreat the king. Fear not thy sons, they shall do well enough.
Come, Lucius, come. Stay not to talk with them.
So now go tell, and if thy tongue can speak, who 'twas that cut thy tongue and ravished thee.
Write down thy mind, bewray thy meaning so, and if thy stumps will let thee play the scribes.
See how with signs and tokens she can scrawl.
Go home, call for sweet water, wash your hands.
She hath no tongue to call, nor hands to wash.
And so let's leave her to her silent walks.
And for my cause, I should go hang myself.
If thou hadst hands to help thee knit the cord.
But who is this? My niece that flies away so fast doesn't know word. Where is your husband? If I do dream, would all my wealth would wake me? If I do wake, some planet strike me down that I may slumber in eternal sleep. Speak, gentle niece, what stern, ungentle hand hath locked and hewed and made thy body bare of her two branches, those sweet ornaments whose circling shadows kings have sought to sleep in, and might not gain so great a happiness as half thy love? Why dost not speak to me? Alas, a crimson river of warm blood, like to a bubbling fountain stirred with wind, doth rise and fall between thy rosed lips, coming and going with thy honey breath. But Jorasom Tyrius hath deflowered thee, unless thou shouldst detect him, cut thy tongue. Oh, now thou turns away thy face for shame. Shall I speak for thee? Shall I say 'tis so? Oh, that I knew thy heart, and knew the beast, that I could rail at him to ease my mind. And fair Philomel, why she but lost her tongue, and in a tedious sampler sowed her mind. But, lovely niece, that means is cut from thee. The craftier Tyrius, cousin, hast thou met, and he have cut those pretty fingers off that could have better sewed than Philomel. Come, let us go, and make thy father blind. For such a sight will blind a father's eye. 1 hour's storm will drown the fragrant meads, or will hold months of tears thy father's eyes. Do not draw back, for we will mourn with thee. Or could our mourning ease thy misery?
Hear me, great fathers. Noble tribunes, stay for pity of mine age, whose youth was spent in dangerous wars, whilst you securely slept. For all my blood in Rome's great quarrel shed, for all the frosty nights that I have watched, and for these bitter tears which now you see filling the aged wrinkles in my cheeks, be pitiful to my condemned sons, whose souls is not corrupted as this thought. For 22 sons I never wept because they died in honor's lofty bed. For these tribunes in the dust I write my heart's deep languor and my soul's sad tears. Let my tears staunch the earth's dry appetite. My son's sweet blood will make it shame and blush. Or I will befriend thee more with rain that shall distill from these 2 ancient ruins than youthful April shall with all the showers. O reverend tribunes, O gentle aged men, unbind my sons! Reverse the doom of death, and let me say that never wept before. My tears are now prevailing orators.
O noble father, you lament in vain. The tribunes hear you not. No man is by, and you recount your sorrows to a stone.
Lucius, for thy brothers, let me plead. Grave tribunes, once more I entreat of you.
My gracious lord, no tribune hears you speak.
Tis no matter, madam, if they did hear, they would not mark me. If they did mark, they would not pity me, yet plead I must, and bootless unto them. Therefore, tell my sorrow to the stones, for though they cannot answer my distress, yet in some sort they are better than the tribunes, for that they will not intercept my tale. When I do weep, they humbly at my feet, receive my tears, and do seek to weep with me. Were they but attired in grave weeds, Rome could afford no tribunes like to these. A stone is soft as wax, tribunes more hard than stones. Stone is silent, and offendeth not. Tribunes with their tongues do men to death. But wherefore standest thou with thy weapon drawn?
To rescue my 2 brothers from their death, for which attempt the judges have pronounced my everlasting doom of banishment.
O happy man, they have befriended thee! My foolish Lucius, dost thou not perceive that Rome is but a wilderness of tigers, and tigers must prey, and Rome affords no prey but me and mine? How happy art thou then from these devourers to be banished? But who comes with our brother Marcus there?
Titus, prepare thine aged eyes to weep, or if not so, thy noble heart to break. I bring consuming sorrow to thine age.
Will it consume me? Let me see it then.
This was thy daughter.
Why, Marcus, so she is.
I mean, this object kills me.
Faint-hearted boy, arise and look upon her. Speak, Lavinia. What accursed hand hath made thee handless in thy father's sight? What fool hath added water to the sea or brought a faggot to bright burning Troy? My grief was at the height before thou camest, and now like Nihilus it disdaineth bounds. Give me a sword, I'll chop off my hands too, for they have plowed for Rome, and all in vain, and they have nursed this woe in feeding life. In bootless prayer have they been held up, and they have served me to effectless use. Now all the service I require of them is that the one will help cut the other. 'Tis well, Lavinia, thou hast no hands, for hands to do Rome's services but vain.
Speak, gentle sister, who hath martyred thee?
That sweet, delightful engine of her thoughts is torn from forth that pretty hollow cage where like a sweet, melodious bird it sang.
Oh, say thou for her, who hath done this deed?
Unless I found her straying in the park, seeking to hide herself as doth the deer that had received some unrecuring wound.
It was my deer, and he that wounded her hath hurt me more than had he killed me dead. This way to death my wretched sons are gone. Here stands my other son, a banished man, and here my brother weeping at my woes. But thou which givest my soul the greatest spurn, this is dear Lavinia, dearer than my soul. Had I but seen my picture in this plight, it would have maddened me. What shall I do, now I behold thy lively body so? Thy husband, he is dead, and for his death thy brothers are condemned and dead by this. Marcus, look, son Lucius, look! When I did name her brothers, them fresh tears stood on her cheeks as doth the honeydew upon a gathered lily, almost withering.
Perchance she weeps because they killed her husband. Perchance because she knows the men is...
If they did kill thy husband, then be joyful, for the law hath ta'en revenge on them. No, no, they would not do so foul a deed. Witness the sorrow their sister makes. Lavinia, shall I kiss thy lips, or make some sign how I may do thee ease? Shall thy good uncle, and thy brother Lucius, and thou and I, sit round about some fountain, and in that fountain shall we gaze so long till the fresh taste be taken from that clearness, and be made a brine pit with our tears? Or shall we put away our hands like thine? Or shall we bite our tongues, and in dumb shows pass the remainder of our days? What shall we do? Let us not have our tongues plot some device of further misery for us to be wondered at in time to come.
Sweet Bob, cease your tears, for at your grief see how my wretched sister sobs and weeps.
Patience, dear niece. Titus, try thine eyes.
Marcus, brother, well, I hope thy napkin cannot drink a tear of mine, because thou, poor man, hast drowned it with thine own.
Ah, my Lavinia, I will wipe thy cheeks.
Oh, Marcus, I know her sighs. Had she a tongue to speak, now would she say that to her brother, which I said to thee. His napkin with his true tears all be wet can do no service on her sorrowful eyes. Oh, what a sympathy of woe is this, as far from help as limbo is from bliss.
Titus Andronicus, my lord the emperor sends thee his word, that if thou love thy sons, let Marcus, Lucius, or thyself, old Titus, or any one of you, chop off your head and send it to the king. He for the same will send thee hither both thy sons alive, and that shall be the ransom for their faults.
Oh, gracious emperor, oh, gentle Aaron, with all my heart I'll send the emperor my hand. Good Aaron, wilt thou help to chop it off?
Stay, father, for that noble hand of thine that hath thrown down so many enemies shall not be sent. My hand will serve the turn. My youth can better spare my blood than you, and therefore mine shall save my brothers' lives.
Which of your hands hath not defended Rome, and reared aloft the bloody battle axe, writing destruction on the enemy's castle? Oh, none of both but are of high desert. My hand hath been but idle. Let it serve to ransom my two nephews from their death. Then have I kept it to a worthy end.
Nay, come agree whose hand shall go along, for fear they die before their pardon comes.
Sweet father, if I be not thy son, let me redeem my brothers both from death.
And for our father's sake and mother's care, now let me show a brother's love to thee.
Agree between you. I will spare my hand.
Then I'll go fetch an axe.
But I will use the axe.
Come hither, Aaron, I will deceive them both. Lend me thy hand, Aaron, and I will give thee mine.
If that be called deceit, I will be honest, and never whilst I live deceive men so. But I'll deceive you in another sort, and that you'll say ere half an hour pass.
And yet dear too, because I bought mine own.
I go, Andronicus, and for thy hand, look by and by to have thy sons with thee. Their heads, I mean. Oh, how this villainy doth fat me with the very thought of it.
Oh, here, I lift this one hand up to heaven, and bow this feeble ruin to the earth. If any power, pity's wretched tears, to that I call. Wouldst thou kneel with me? Do then, dear heart, for heaven shall hear our prayers. For with our sighs, we'll breathe the welkin dim, and stain the sun with fog, and sometimes clouds, when they do hug them in their melting bosoms.
Oh, brothers, speak with possibility, and do not break into these deep extremes.
Is not my sorrow deep, having no bottom? then be my passions bottomless with them.
But yet let reason govern thy lament.
If there were reason for these miseries, then into limits can I bind my woes. When heaven doth weep, doth not the earth o'erflow? If the winds rage, doth not the sea wax mad? And wilt thou have a reason for this coil? I am the sea. Our sighs doth flow. She is the weeping welkin, I the earth. Then must my sea be moved with her sighs. Then must my earth with her continual tears become a deluge, overflowed and drowned. But why my bowels cannot hide her woes, but like a drunkard must I vomit them. Then give me leave, for losers will have leave to ease their stomachs with their bitter tongues.
Worthy Andronicus, ill art thou repaid, for that good hand thou sendst the emperor. Here are the heads of thy 2 noble sons, and here's thy hand in scorn to thee sent back. Thy grief, their sport, thy resolution mocked. That woe is me to think upon thy woes, more than remembrance of my father's death.
Let our death cool in Sicily, and be my heart an ever-burning hell. These miseries are more than may be borne. To weep with them that weep doth ease some deal, but sorrow flouted at is double death.
That this sight should make so deep a wound, and yet detested life not shrink thereat. That ever death should let life bear its name, where life hath no more interest but to breathe.
Oh, alas, poor heart, that kiss is comfortless as frozen water to a starved snake.
When will this fearful slumber have an end?
Thou dost not slumber. See thy 2 sons' heads, thy warlike hand, thy mangled daughter here, thy other warlike son with his dear sight struck pale and bloodless, and thy brother I, in like a stony image, cold and numb. Now no more will I control thy griefs. Rend off thy silver hair, thine other hand gnawing with thy teeth, and be this dismal sight the closing up of our most wretched eyes. Now is it time to storm, why art thou still? Why dost thou laugh? It fits not with this hour.
I have not another tear to shed. Besides, this sorrow would usurp upon my watery eyes and blind them with tributary tears. Then, which way shall I find revenge's cave? These 2 hands do seem to speak to me and threaten me. I shall never find bliss till all these mischiefs be returned again, even in their throats that have committed them. You heavy people, circle me about, that I may turn me to each of you, and swear unto my soul to right your wrongs. The vow is made. Come, brother, take a hand, and in this hand the other will I bear. Lavinia, thou shalt be employed. These arms. Bear thou my hand, sweet wench, between thy teeth. As for thee, boy, go get thee from my sight. Thou art in exile, and thou must not stay. Hie to the Goths, and raise an army there. And if you love me, as I think you do, let us kiss and part, for we have much to do.
Farewell, Andronicus, my noble father, the woefulest man that ever lived in Rome. Farewell, proud Rome, till Lucius come again. He loves his pledges dearer than his life. Farewell, Lavinia, my noble sister. If Lucius live, he will requite your wrongs. and make proud Saturnine and his empress beg at the